And my life, I learned what life is through experience. You know what I'm saying? I learned what it means, what life is, through experience. How society works. I learned all these things. The underground is the overground too. Just lessons I learned. When all this stuff, I had some years was, especially rough. All of them been rough though. I was getting like absolutely bored, by the structures, and they use, gangs, to destroy me. But to destroy my life. And when I say, 2014 all the way to 2018 or 19, I had no idea, what all of this stuff was. You feel me? I didn't know what it was. Like, I really had no idea. And I was, I was forced to learn, because I'm getting bored all year, every year by the structures who use, others to do it, and it's all I know is life. I learned, I learned that everybody are killers. You know what I'm saying? I learned that. It's so much, that's happened. It transpired all these years, and it permanently, it changed the way I look at, humanity and how I interact and, how I think and see the world. But I say that, I don't really say it with a grain of salt, because to be honest, I think that that's the way you're supposed to. Maybe the way I was thinking the world was wrong all along. So it was like a correction to me, when I grew, and I learned through these years of these things. And it's so many stories, that's happened, more things that I try to capture this stuff all year, quotes recorded. I didn't understand what was going on, what was happening. I learned as I go. I'm like, well, I'm an author, and I write Christian stuff. But now I'm being, some things are happening that I can't explain. Some evil stuff. And so I try to, find out what's going on. And that's how I learned that it was the existence of, gangs and stuff like that. I didn't know, these kind of things, and then the structures, were not shamed. They had no shame in anything that was happening to me, especially in those early years. I know it's, I share my story with the intention of uplifting, encouraging others, man. People be grateful for what they do have in their life, because it could always be worse. You feel me? I have no life. You know what I'm saying? This is my reality. These things I say permanently. And I come to the realization of the things that were happening to me before I had the understanding of what was happening to me. You feel me? So I was forced to come into a realization of, persecution. Before I had time to even process, what was happening. Like, it's what I know, all these years forever be with me. That, nobody can't tell me that this is not the way life is. You know what I'm saying? life as I know it. And to this very day, it still does not, it's no signs that it'll ever get better. It ain't until now that, it's become more of, it's like, for me personally, being a victim of this stuff, all these years, it's only now that it's become so evident, to me, all these years I never had no references. You feel me? I had no reference for any of these things. I was like a fish out of water, bro. Living in the normal, trying to live a regular life and having no choice but to live a regular. Literally don't have no other option. But while you doing that, you got to deal with, constant violence and things just you don't even know who, what, why, all you know is the where, and that's wherever you are, you don't know how, you just like, it's like a nightmare, it was like a nightmare, especially years like 17, actually all the way back to like 14 and, 17 was especially worse. Rough for me. It's like, and it's weird because like through some type of like assimilation or normalization, it's like it's like society trying to absorb your testimony into other people's dominions. You feel me? Like when I was writing, when I'm talking about this stuff and writing this stuff, this was profound. You feel me? These things, these quotes, when they went viral originally on the day that I posted them, they went viral. These things were profound. You know what I'm saying? And they were works within their own rights. You feel me? They were not attached to anybody else. Like all these quotes I got from way back all the way to now. You know what I mean? They would stand alone. You feel me? It was, and for what I've been through with it, and the truth I know that it is, that I have, it has value to me because it's my testimony. And it's like the end result is these days. It's like, when everything I said, like my stuff being assimilated into other people's dominion, it's like as if, it was just trivial all along. Like, this was not obvious years ago for me. And there was nobody saying that it was the case of what's being said now. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Nobody was saying this years ago. You know what I'm saying? I was in the darkness, just fumbling around like pretty much all year, every year, trying to maintain and live in society when everything that I touch is being destroyed. And I don't understand why I'm getting set up left and right. I can't, be kind. Kind is used to kill you with. You can't breathe. You can't speak to people. That's used to kill you. You feel me? You can't smile in public. That's used to kill you with. Everything that I did, you know what I'm saying, gave everybody a reason to destroy me. It's so many things happen that's way past, the shock of consciousness. And and it's like now it's being treated like, the consummation of all these quotes I wrote, that this whole time I've been fighting blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it's like people, people could like chunk it up to, other people, lives and things like that as if it's something trivial. For me, it's not. You know what I'm saying? I went through all this the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn this day by day, every painful day. And I'm totally innocent for the things that I'm facing were totally undeserved. You know how that feel. Hoping that, every day that somebody go come save you. Feel me? Or somehow you go get rescued. And it's always like a bus that, you know what I mean? Just saying how the situation was, it reminds you of like, metaphorically in a way, it's like a bus, you feel me, that every time, you feel me, you try to get it, it leaves. Then when you ain't looking, it come back. Feel me? Like it's the escape bus. Feel me? Like that's how it's been, man. I seen so many things, man. I learned so much about how society works, man. I can go in details. If people want to know, but I learned the hard way. All this stuff, I had no reference other than what I learned along the way. I talk about it in my art as well as just my prose. That's my regular quotes. These recordings. But they understand why I say what I say. When you look at my old stuff, you see the kind of things I was saying back in the day. You feel me? It wasn't nothing I would think would be worthy of death. You feel me? The kind of stuff I was saying. And then, before I started getting attacked, I was saying nothing but Christian things. Like I hadn't been attacked. So it was Bible based. Then when I started getting attacked, I started talking about the Bible and the persecution. So it wasn't that I was saying, man. So for the longest, I always was trying to find a reason why I'm being eaten up like this, all day and night. Everything I touch is destroyed. Everywhere I go, I get bored, excessively. And for me to go through all that and learn all this with all these quotes and things, to me that matters. Then for, these days, it'll be all just trivialized. Like, that's not even like, like it's not a big deal. When that's all I know. You feel me? I didn't have another chance to learn a different way of life. Was getting bored and left for dead from like 2013, 14, all the way up to now. Some days, was better than others. All of it was bad. And it was mostly in proportion to what, I guess what it was directly proportional to whether or not the truth could be made manifest. It seemed like the truth can be seen like by everybody. It just was the weirdest thing, all these years. And I'm just, me just a person following the cross. I wasn't able to make no sense of the things that were happening because I thought it was always a rational explanation, for everything. And I was wrong, Yeah, I say, I made a quote not long ago, months ago. Probably Sam said, y'all don't let my story die because I stood for something large. Ultimately, the main character is Jesus, These things I went through for my faith, it matters to me because it made me to the person I am today. And, I was already on the straight and narrow before I started getting persecuted. You feel me? So when I went through these rough seasons, it kind of like perfected, while I was already going, just like kind of, I had no intentions of, living a sinful life anyway. I had no desire to. Like I didn't, my soul is of God. So I didn't want to anyway. But it's definitely made sure of it. You feel me? But yeah, man, sometimes I just think about all these stories, it's just been a long journey. A long, long, painful journey. But I learned a lot though. All the situations I handled it the Bible way. Been some dark, dark seasons. And then for it to be like people to just like try to trivialize it, Well, I mean, mostly influences that I guess had something to do with, which I did not know at the time. You feel me? When I'm posting these quotes, I'm fighting blindfolded the whole time up until this time. Like now, that it's like society is putting the blame on some people. You feel me? So it's weird like that. Like, I mean, okay, but this testimony I said months ago, like a year ago, I said I don't really care who was responsible. I got quotes in there saying it months ago, probably like a year ago. I said I care more about the testimony. You know what I'm saying? The story. Because that right there is larger. You know, it has a better, like, it's a testimony. It shows things testimonies show, like, it's aligning to the Bible. You know, I mean, it's a biblical testimony of the things I've gone through while I kept my faith in the Lord the whole time. And so I governed myself in accordance with the scriptural laws and the scriptural, you know, truths. And that's what set it apart, my story, you know what I mean? These are things I was going through, but this is how I handled it. The Bible way the whole time, all years, you know, every year. So it means something to God, and I feel like it'll mean something to people who, you know, love the Lord. You know? The devil opposed to that, you know? But yeah, man, I mean, it's only now that, you know, things are made more, I guess, clear. You know what I mean? It's way too many chapters, man, that, you know, so many things happen for it to be trivialized to some irrelevant, you know what I'm saying, now. You feel me? Irrelevant nouns that's not worthy of the recognition. You feel me? Not even worthy of the recognition. From having a part in any of the persecutions against God. Because all this stuff been against God. You know? So I mean, I would never otherwise recognize any, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. It's not worthy of that recognition, you know. Not for something like this. This against God, you know. But the testimony is what's important, though, because it shows the Lord all together, you know. So that's why it's going to be something that's, you know, the devil targeted. He been doing it. Just like one of my platforms went down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even bother trying to, you know, my Instagram, that just got shut down, you know. I got finessed, feel me? Finally, they found a way to do it. And, yes, I ain't even bothered with verification or none of that trying to do it. You know, I know better. You know what I'm saying? I send them verification and I don't know what I'm talking about. So I already know, you know what I'm saying, that was never, that was all, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but yeah, man, I mean, I still got a couple platforms, though. You feel me? Y'all stay tuned, man. I got new content coming out still. Lord's will. You know, but yeah, man, all my stuff was posted on Insta, you know, since 2000, way back, man. I'm posting stuff, like 16, 17, maybe 15, you know, and my stuff was Bible based. Then over time, you know, I started talking about, you know, what I've gone through, persecution, how it aligns to the Bible, and, you know, try to use it to, you know, better others, you know, in a biblical kind of way. But yeah, man, I learned what life is, man, what it means. And I learned that life is nothing pretty. You know what I'm saying? Not in the earth. You know, that's the only reference I got, you know. Pain. You know what I mean? God is a good God, though. All the time. Anyway.